So, hello everyone. We have four students of this HRM and LR course, Mumbai, which is the flagship course of this Mumbai. And they are going to tell you, they are going to take your queries, the questions, and they are going to tell you something about the course. So, first, we'll have a brief introduction of themselves. We'll start with Muskan and then Vishnu and then Ashish and then Manan. Okay. So, Muskan, you can introduce.
Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're right.
So hi everyone. My name is Muskan. I hail from Jharkhand. I've completed my BCom honors like undergrad from Shriram College of Commerce in 2020. Post that I've worked in E&Y for around 1 year, 14 months basically. Post that I took a break of around 1 year where I prepared for other competitive exams like TISS. And right now, I'm a first year student of TIS Mumbai HRM and LR. Thank you.
Okay, Vishnu, could you speak?
Yeah, sure. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm coming from Kerala, like the central part of Kerala, and I attempted for TISNET last year as well. I was with Pratik, so he knows me better than like many of the coaching mentors do. Uh, I attended and I failed last year. Then I tried again. I completed my graduation like long back in 2016 in mechanical engineering, and after that, I went on to like pursue masters in the same field from IT Bombay. From 2018 to 2022, I was working with Mahindra Automobiles in the product development department, and I found out like this journey is not for me, and I wanted to follow my passion, and which was a management HR course. And I tried to like find ways for it, and that's how I reached Pratik, and he guided me pretty well. And I'm here right now, the first year of HRM and LR course. And in the short, after I failed in the first attempt, I was working as a project manager in a startup, uh, which was in Kerala as a project manager. So all these experiences with Pratik actually helped me crack the interview, crack the extempore, which was like completely new to me. And thanks to you, Pratik. Yeah.
Okay. So now, Ashish, you can introduce.
Hello everyone. First of all, sorry for not being on a video. And I belong from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, and I have done engineering in electronics and communication. After that, I worked for TCS and for a brief period of time. And after that, I joined MP government as an assistant revenue inspector. I worked there around 5 years, and after that, in between, I came to know about the TIS HRM. And when I knew about that, so I realized that this is the thing that I wanted to join. So I prepared for it, and like I could not clear in the last year, I could not convert the interview, and Pratik sir held, and this year I was able to clear interview round. And anyone whoever is facing issue like leaving their job or the facing a lot of issue, so can contact me, or the Pratik sir guided me a lot in personal as well as the professional issue. Like I shared with you, sir, if you remember all the thing like that, that
Yeah.
I was facing in the job as well as the some
So
personal life.
actually, the so-called government job are quite tiring at times, and there will be, times when you will feel frustration, or any job for that matter will have issues. And yeah, I can remember that he was facing some issue, and then he came to me, and we had a good discussion over that. Okay, Manan, you can introduce yourself.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
My name is Manan Kathuria, and I was born and brought up in a small town of Rajpura in Punjab. Actually, it's also known as the gateway to Punjab because it's on Punjab and Haryana border. And I was educated in a village school. After that, I did my BLLB honors in English from Punjab University, and my love for social justice and equity led me to practice law for 8 years. And side by side, I was also preparing for the UPSC exam. However, I could not clear that exam, and After that, I realized during the course of my advocacy that I was more interested towards the people side of the business, and that is when I decided to go in for HRM and LR. So here I am in first year. I cleared that exam in first attempt, thanks to the blessings of God, parents, and teachers like Pratik sir. Thank you.
Okay, Manu. So now everybody wants to know the eligibility, and the first thing is ISNET and what happens after testnet, that is extempore and OPR. Okay. So I would like, Vishnu, could you speak something about the process, the eligibility and the first round testnet? Then we'll go to Muskan. Muskan can tell about the second round, and then we'll take and the other DAP thing and everything with the other people. Yeah. Vishnu, testnet thing. And
yeah, Pratik, I think I can talk about the process. I think eligibility can be taken by somebody else. So the process involves, since I attended in TISNET 2022 and 2023, the process duration was completely different.
And before you start, I also want to say that Vishnu scored something around 73 this year. And last year also he scored something around that only in testnet, which was one of the highest. Yeah. Go on.
Yes, so in 2022, I scored 73 in TISNET. But after that, like there was a long period for the test was in February 27th, I believe. And after that, interview happened in June. The extempore and interview happened in June. It was because this was taking its time for developing that practice. Because during pandemic, everything was online and it was completely new for them to conduct extempore interview. Everything was online. So it took a gap of 3 months, which gave us like a lot of time for preparation. And the interview and extempore happened for me in the last week of June, and the results came a bit late. But this year in 2023, the exam happened, I think, in February mid. Then within 1 month, sorry, Pratik.
Within 20 days, I can remember on
Yes.
26th of March, the result came, and the interview for them, for HR people, started from 13th. So
Yes.
most of the HR interview were scheduled on 13th itself.
Yeah,
Yes,
So
mine
the
was
gap
on
was
13.
very less.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was on 13, sir.
Yeah, there were many people of HR who had interviews on 13th. Yeah, go on,
Yes.
Vishnu.
Yeah. So all the interviews like happened very fast, and it ended also very fast. Like within a window of 3 weeks, they tried to wind up all the interviews, and they were like keen on publishing the results very soon. So today, the like this year, the admission started when last year the interviews were about to finish in June mid. So I think we can expect this kind of pattern this year as well, because they are pretty prepared for the process. So one might get 1 month of preparation for interviews and extempore. So it's better to prepare both along with together.
So here only I would like to say that whatever GK, especially the because testnet is the examination will have three part basically GK 40 marks and 30 each of English and Quant. Now GK here is something which you should prepare holistically. You should not think that only MCQ thing I will do and then I will prepare that for interview. That is what Vishnu is saying. Yeah, go on.
Yes, so I had the same experience in the first year. So I think I already told that to Pratik. Like I was just
Yeah,
preparing for the exam. I was not preparing for the entire process. So if you're
yeah.
preparing for, it's not just preparation for TISNET. It's also preparation for extempore interviews, because you're also given a huge context of GK to study for TISNET. That means you should be aware of social problems, and you should have a view on it, and you should be able to express yourself, and you should know the trends of HR. So it's better to start prepare for TISNET. Alongside that, read some articles, start reading newspapers. It will also help you in vocabulary and assist you in VRC section of the exam.
So what Vishnu is basically highlighting is whatever we are practicing. Okay. because we also it took us also as surprise that so much less time was given this year. Okay, we had planned all the things which we couldn't do because of that. Okay, so it might happen that this year also they might give you very less time. So that is why I have started this clubhouse thing or whatever extemporary thing. Before only every Sunday we do that. Okay, so that the student should have this habit of speaking. Then Muskan, you can speak about the extempore and OPI thing.
Yes, sir. So for
After
extent,
what happens after qualifying testing?
okay. So after qualifying testnet, we got the dates for extempore and for the interview dates. For extempore and OPI, I had joined Prateek sir's course. For my basically, I will talk about my preparation, how I did it. So whatever sir used to teach us on Zoom meetings, Zoom classes, and other than that, we also had regular meetings at night, and regular sessions also we had used to have. So I used to attend all of those things. Other than that, it should be very one should be very regular with the newspaper and whatever is recent happenings. One should be updated with that, because in extempore any topic can be asked, anything under the sun can be asked, be it very technical topics like something related to HR, or something very philosophical. For example, my topic was climate change is a global phenomena. So this topic we already had discussed in one of the Zoom meetings. So I was very clear with that topic, so I could speak on that topic. So basically, for extempore, we are given around 30 seconds on which we can think, and we have to speak for 1-2 minutes. I don't remember exactly how much time we have to speak
The
upon.
limit is 3 minutes, but they will not allow you
Yeah.
to
Yes.
speak the whole 3 minutes. Okay.
Yes. So the time span, if you see, is very less. If you're thinking about the topic at that moment only, then it becomes very, you also get to you also panic a lot. So practicing, be very confident, and practicing these topics is very important. So my approach was every day I used to speak on the Zoom meetings, and on
Clubhouse
be
sessions also we had at night.
yes, so every day I made sure that I will have to speak on one topic at least. So doing this made me very confident, so I was very confident also, and I could speak very properly in the extempore. Now coming to OPI, I think OPI is very it depends on what you have written on your DAF. It's very personal, and you can drive that whole interview. So if I talk about my interview, it was entirely based on my DAF, whatever I had written. So I believe that for DAF, one should be very thorough with what one has written. So like one, be it just one word, like I remember in my DAF I had written one word like diversity. So ma'am asked me so many questions from just one word. So whatever you're writing on your DAF, you should be very thorough with it, and you should try to think, uh, you know, as many questions that can be derived from that whatever you have written. So for interview, my interview was basically introduce yourself. Why do you want to do HRM? Why do you want to get admission in TIS? And whatever I had written on my DAF. So yeah, this was my experience of interview.
Okay. So Ashish, would you like to share something about the next round, that is DAF and extempore and interview, whatever your experience was, which might be
Uh,
helpful?
yes, sir. Most of the things are covered, but I would like to add one or two more point that first of all, be ready for any changes. It is not necessary that every time there will be the extempore or the interview. Maybe possibility that this time they may introduce the physical interview or the GD
Or
discussion. So
GT can be.
yeah, so it depends upon their committee that what they are deciding. So be ready for that, for surprises. And apart from that, like Nusman mentioned, that in the extempore they can ask anything under the sun. But one thing is assured that the whatever topic they will give you, they will assure sure that you will have something to speak. It will not like that they will ask you to speak on like the like any astronaut or the whatever thing. So they will give you chance to speak because they want you to speak. They want you to how you speak, how confidently you speak. So one thing, and also it's not necessary that if your exam is not good, then your selection is not going to happen. Sometimes we get disappointed that our exam was not good, and
Don't
we
take the memory of the past. There are two things I would
yes
like to say. Actually, the same thing, similar thing happened with a student. Okay. The first thing is, suppose you are getting some random extempore topic which you don't know anything about. There is always an option. You can go for the next topic because there are two topics which are there. So if you are uncomfortable with the first topic, you can ask them for the second topic. And it will not happen that both of the topics are like that for you. Okay. But if the first topic is something which has to do with HRM and LR, please don't go for second topic. Suppose they are asking you to speak on diversity. You are saying, no, sir, I won't be able to speak on diversity. I want a topic like maybe, a socio-political topic. And you are speaking, you are a UPSC aspirant, you can speak on socio-political things. And you are thinking that speaking on that will be a great idea. No, it will show you in a bad light, number one. So number two, whatever experience Ashish was saying, I have an example of that. Actually, there was a girl. So last year she also got the same topic with Muskan got climate change. Okay. And I had taken a class where I had spoken, if a topic like this will come, you have to speak such things. Okay. So luckily she got climate change topic. And what she did, she was all prepared. She spoke quite well. That tempo was quite well. And then what happened in the interview part, she could not do that well according to her, but she got selected. In a similar way, there was a student could not do that great in extempore because he said, "Sir, I wanted to say a lot, but they stopped me in between." Okay, it might happen at 240 or something, 250 or something, they will stop you. Okay, it might happen. So whatever I always say, if you are taking a extempore, what you should do, highlight the verticals you are going to touch upon first, and then elaborate them so that they will come to know 5 points. Otherwise, if you will not say 5 points, you will say first point, elaborate that, you might miss to speak those points also. So he had a not very satisfying extempore, but the interview was great and he was also said. So don't take the guilty consciousness with you that I had a bad experience of extempore. Yeah, Ashish, you can say.
so yes sir, apart from that also it's not necessary that if your interview is being too long or too short, you cannot judge, so don't be
Ashish, after
disappointed.
giving the interview, what you told to me, you can say that also.
Yes sir, so like it was very short, only the I guess 14 or 15 minutes. So generally we believe that if the interview is too long, then that it is good if they are grilling you. So it's not necessary, depend upon the panel to panel and the person to person. So don't uh,
Don't judge,
don't
don't make a
depend
judgment that
that
it is short,
yeah.
so you will not get selected or something. Okay, Manan, you can share your experience of extempore and interview.
Sure. First of all, I would like to tell that your background, you must have a thorough knowledge of your background. Because I was asked so many questions regarding my background. The first and the foremost question was why HRM and LR after law? And I have to give a solid reason for that every time I sit in for an interview. Then they asked me about constitutional reforms and Keshavananda Bharti case, and I even told them like who was the lawyer and whose government was there. But they asked me how many judges were there. So
Okay.
they can ask you anything, and it's not necessary that you must know everything because they asked me what is
By the way,
force.
here I want to add that Manan is a lawyer. Okay. And Manan is a lawyer, and that is why they were interested there. Yeah, go on.
uh, I had told her in the interview, be very sure that whatever you say, you know something about it, because I told that I have been following HR trends. So she asked me few of the HR trends. I was able to answer those, but as I said, it's not necessary that you answer each and every question. You just have to be honest. Don't fluke, don't fake there. Like she asked me what is focused recruitment. Honestly speaking, till now I don't know what is focused recruitment, and even then I could not answer that. But that was something that showed my honesty. I simply told that, ma'am, I do not know about it, and it's okay not to know something. Then you must show your interest, because I was asked like, which book did you read, which websites did you follow. So these things were asked to me. I was grilled on these. So and next is uh, one word in the DAF, like Muskan told you, they can drive that interview in that direction from that DAF. I had written about research and dissertation. So she asked me what kind of what area would you like to do research, and how would research help you, and how would fieldwork help you. So these are some things one need to take care of, because one has to present those things only which about he is sure that he can give some concrete answers.
Yeah, so see, as he said, your background should be well researched. Whatever, it is not that suppose you are an engineer, it is not that it was 5 years ago or 6 years ago, so they will not ask a question. They might ask, number one, and they will also, want you to know whatever happenings are there. Because Keswanand Bharti case, I think this year only 50th anniversary was there during the interview only. Okay.
Right, sir?
So during that time only. So that was one thing. You were a lawyer, that was another thing. So that is why it was quite important. So DAF, as Muskan said, DAF, read every word of DAF and then prepare your background, your geography, why, the conviction. We say there are four C's. That is, confidence should be there, clarity should be there, conviction and credibility should be there. Now, whatever Manan said, saying no is a beautiful answer. It will highlight your honesty to them. It will also highlight you respect them, and that is why you are not wasting their time. You are straight away saying, "Sir, I'm a student and I am a eager student. I'm not a person who knows it all. So I'm eager to learn." It shows better things. So if you don't know something, it is okay to say no. So Vishnu, we have missed you.
In my last year, like this year, the extempore topic for HRM, the first topic was role of cinema in society. The effect of, I don't exactly remember the topic, effect of cinema in society. I thought I could talk about it, but then clouds of thoughts were like forming in my head. Like I knew, like if I start, I will not end this in 3 minutes. Then I asked them for the next topic, and they told me the topic was a balance of body, mind, and spirit. Later, like when I thought about this topic, I could connect this to HR benefits and all, but at that moment, like I was completely blank. So I couldn't talk about it for like, I knew I couldn't talk about it for like 3 minutes or even 1 minute. So I asked them, can I switch back to the previous topic? So it all depends on your panel, the people like Manan mentioned. It's not a completely rigid framework. If you come to TIS, you will come to know that everything is like very flexible. You have choices. Everything will be like you want to do. Uh, so it depends on the people on the other side too. Most of the people that we met in TIS are very flexible, very lenient, uh, and I was given the opportunity to go back to my first topic, which was role of cinema in society, and I knew it was an HRM extempore, and this topic was completely out of nowhere. Like it had no relation to HRM at all. Like you will not cover this in HRM syllabus unless you take some media and cultural studies electives. Uh, so at the end, like I was able to connect this to somehow workplace, gender equality, and all these things. I deviated somehow from cinema and talked about like what cinema imparts in the society, how it affects workplace, how HR can change it. I don't know. I think they like that. I'm not sure. No interview panel like discloses like what are their complete uh, parameters on selection. And the interview in 2022, like when I was completely confident after the interview, It lasted for like around 40 minutes. It was very good interview. I felt really good after that. But I got like around 50 marks for the interview, and for the extemporary of this like almost the same. And it dropped my 73 mark in testnet to like somewhere around 67. So I was not even in waiting list. This year the interview lasted for around 20 minutes for HRM, and I even applied for ODCL. So it also lasted for around 20 minutes, and I was completely disheartened after like for a short while after the interview, because I had this kind of bias in my head. If the interview's duration is very less, you will not get selected. But the opposite happened. So it doesn't matter how long your interview is, how did you talk in the extempore. It all is about how you put your perspectives. Even if you stutter, even if you fumble, it's fine. You have to have knowledge. You need to show that interest. And Pratik, I hope I'm not taking much time talking about these backgrounds. uh, I was an engineer for like almost 10 years of my life. So if I could convince the interview panel that I wanted to be an HR, I wanted to join HRM, I think any any engineers can do, or of that matter, like anybody from different background can do. So don't worry about how your career change. You should convince yourself why you want to join this course. If you could convince to yourself first, you can do that to anybody else. That's where people like Pratik comes in. They don't like spoon feed you. They give you knowledge, and you can learn it. You can learn more, and you can question him. You might face certain uh, what to say, conflicts of beliefs with him. You can share that to him. Like, that's how he prepares you for TIS, because in TIS you will be facing a complete diverse people, like people coming from all of the country, from different backgrounds, different financial backgrounds. You will have to interact. You will have to like
So
at
what?
the end of this course,
See,
you will have, yeah.
diversity is a thing which is in the course of HRM. Okay.
Yes,
So when you talk about diversity, there must be diversity of thoughts. So
exactly.
that is why otherwise it will reflect you as a biased person at times. If you will not take into consideration, you might reflect in front of the panel as a biased person, and that is not so good. So that is why it is important for a student who is preparing for a course like that, and that too, Social Science Institute is a social science institute. So there are, people, for example, some ma'am is there. She might be having a feminist mindset out there. So you can't just go there and talk otherwise. Okay. So that is why it is better to be more accommodative of diverse views. Yeah, go on.
Yes. So what I was saying is that TIS itself has 19 schools, like spanning from School of Social Work. Like you can uh, do a project like almost anywhere. Like if you want to do a project on mental health, learning and development, or even development studies, there are like 19 schools, 5 centers, and almost near to 70 courses. You will not get this experience in any other B schools. This is what makes a TIS person different. Like whatever school you belong to, whatever course you belong to. And if you want to come to HRM, I would say you first convince yourself why you want to join HRM. Then prepare for it. Pratik can help you there. You will have to have a very thorough knowledge about what is happening around you, especially in your area, and why you want to switch from one background to other. Then, like Muskan suggested, you should put your heart on your DAF. Like that's the first document where the interview panel like comes to know about you. They might have gone like very thoroughly about it. So they might only check like if you ask you a few questions to check if this is true. That's why maybe your interview lasts for like very short. So you'll have to make that great impression, like Pratik suggested. Use less words, have some clarity, and make them understand within the given time why you want to join this course.
So one thing I told, which I can remember, they have it is like a T20 match. Okay, your interview is not a test match. If it was a test match, then you can speak everything. Okay, but it is not a test match. It is just for a duration of time, and within that, you have to showcase your everything. I mean, your 5 aspects of your personality should reflect in those 15 minutes, maybe, or 30 minutes. Okay. And that is why it becomes important how you are writing your DAC, because some traits will come through that. Some traits should reflect in the way you will talk, the way you will and take a question. Okay. And ultimately, the complete whole of that will reflect your personality, who you are. Okay. And that you should be receptive. You should be showcasing yourself as a student who is eager to learn and who is aware of the things he is going to learn for the institution about the happenings of the world. So in that way, we are looking for such people who are well aware, and that is why I think they have given less time this time. Okay, this year
Yes,
they
yes,
have
sir.
given very less time because they want original people. They don't want. There are people who will just mug up something in the last days and they will do something. So they don't want that. That is one of the thing. Now we will be taking questions one by one. There are a list of questions. So eligibility,
Just a second,
yeah.
sir. Sir, I would like to add one more point which you always used to stress upon, and I think we
Mhm.
have missed here. We should always give multi-dimensional answers. The more the dimensions we give, the more well-balanced personality we seem them to be. Like I was given a topic on why the gig economy is here to stay. So it was related to HRM. So I gave international perspective, national perspective, some statistics, some mental this mental social, and so these
So
things are very important because they show that you are a well rounded person, you have well rounded knowledge about that topic,
So
multiple
yeah,
dimensions.
whatever you are saying about gig works or gig economy. So what happened? I think last year, when the interviews were happening, some Amazon trade union of gig workers was created. Okay, so that was a thing which if you are going to add that, then they will come to know. Okay, he's not only aware of the Indian scenario, he is also keeping a vigil upon whatever is happening elsewhere. So the first question says that, sir, do we require any certification or skills before applying for this course? So Vishnu can take this question.
Uh, See, like if I am to answer this question, like the short answer is no. You don't need anything as eligibility criteria. You just need to have like 15 years of college experiences, UGC mentioned, to be in this course. But if you have taken some courses, see, what I have done is like I had 5 years of work experience, so I could showcase in my interview that I have closely worked with HR teams, like share their visions, understand their processes. So for someone who doesn't have corporate experiences, I would suggest go to LinkedIn. You can get a lot of free courses. You just need internet, and you can cover these courses. You can have a basic understanding, if not just to showcase in your DAF or like on your LinkedIn profile. You can at least have knowledge when asked in interview. Like Ashish mentioned, don't bring up this technical knowledge. You shouldn't bring up all this technical knowledge if you don't have if you don't know
Confidence.
what is it. So but if you go through all these materials, it's fairly simple. Maybe take courses on HR recruitment. It might take 50 minutes. You can cover it in like even in 2 weeks. You will understand what is it. If you talk that in the interview that you have done this, so if you mention this somewhere in the interview, the interviewer will get to know that you're genuinely interested, you have put some efforts for this, other than just not just preparing for UPSC or like and just taking this as a option B. And one thing I want to say is that I already told you that you should convince yourself first. I mean, uh, it's very easy to say like don't come here for money and come for learning. See, even I was on your side, so I used to think like when people from outside comes and say don't come for money, just come for learning. Money is important, right? I mean, so I used to think like, okay, this is similar to what rich people say like money is not important. I mean, healthy people say like health is not important. So I know like these things might be running on your mind, but like if you just come for like the benefits that this position might give you, it will last only for a short while. After that, you will seek other opportunities. So that's what happened with my life. So I'm telling him from my personal experience. So like convince yourself like why you want to do it, and if you find a genuine answer, then follow it. Like nothing can stop you. You can find courses on Coursera, but you don't need to go for paid courses. You can get easy certifications, or I'm not sure about internships, but courses on LinkedIn. You can use those. You can connect with various HR leaders in the industry. You can talk with junior HR people in the industry. You can get to know like what's happening in real field. If you tell this to a professor in interview, he will get to know that like you know what's happening in the concerned field, and it shows your interest. It all matters like how much you score in the interview. I scored like 73, which was like very high in TISNET 2022, but in interview I scored like pretty less, so it lowered my overall mark. But there were like people who were nearly on cutoff, and they scored 80, 85, 90 plus based on their interview and extempore. If you convince yourself within this 3 minutes of extempore plus 20 plus or minus 10 minutes of interview that you want to join this course, they will give you like whatever marks in the interview, so that the TISNET score will not matter. So that was my experience. And regarding this question, I would say like the answer would be LinkedIn. And regarding these certifications, if you want to do like, if you're in a financial position to like spend 500 or 1000 for a course, if you really are interested, then you can do get some courses in Udemy or Coursera, some certifications.
Okay, Manan, you can speak then.
Sir, I would like to say that if one can afford, then one must do Excel from basic, at least basic level, and if possible, advanced level, because that will come in handy during the internships. Because for benchmarking and all, Excel is needed. And PowerPoint, because PowerPoint will help you in case competitions and during the course when you have to give presentations in the class. This will also enhance your creativity and your confidence and your social standing in the class. Then like Vishnu said that you can do some HR courses on LinkedIn, some free courses. And I would like to say that there is a course by Wharton, and it is not that expensive. It's related to analytics. Since analytics is an upcoming thing due to the coming of AI, I think if you do that analytics course, that would be really beneficial. Otherwise they are not necessary. Nobody says that they are necessary, but they would come in handy. For example, Excel and PowerPoint, I have myself experienced is I am not adept at using Excel or PowerPoint. I have to learn these right now. So instead of wasting time during your course, what you can do is you can learn them right now, and this will also show your interest towards HR, because they also know that an HR needs to work on Excel and PowerPoint.
Okay, the second question is, uh, will they ask me, that I have read a book on HR or not? How important is it to read a book? So Muskan can take this.
Yes, sir. So it's not mandatory to read a book, but I will tell what happened with me. So I had mentioned that HR plays a very important role in transforming businesses. So they asked me to quote a direct example from real life where it has actually happened. So I had read a book during my preparation phase named Work Rules by Laszlo Bock. So from it is basically about the HR department of Google. So from that, I could quote direct examples in the interview, and I could see that the panel members were very impressed because of that answer. And that only helped me to score 85 plus in the interview. So I believe that it's not mandatory to read a book, but it does help if you're reading some book. So yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you are naming some book, suppose if they are asking, have you read any book, and you're naming a book, then they will, because they are people who are in the business, they might have read also.
Yes.
So don't try to bluff. If you have read that book, then only say. And if you are saying, cite some authentic examples which will, verify that you have read that book, you have learned this thing. Okay, Manan, you can
Yes.
go.
Sir, I was actually asked this question by the panelists. So they asked me, what book have you read and what websites did you go through? So I had read one book, and that was a fat book. That was by Gary Dessler and Biju Varke. So I was able to answer those things, but uh, luckily they didn't cross question me. Otherwise, I didn't remember those things because those things were new to me. But actually, it is necessary. I think that gave a positive impression on them because they found that I was actually interested in HR. That is why I had read a book on HR.
Okay, so if I will say one book or two book or three book, what will happen? Everybody will read the same book. Or Muskan, as said by Muskan, so she chose one book, and it was Work Rule, I believe. And in a similar way, you can choose any book of your choice, maybe not very fat book, a thin book, and you should, if you are going to go through a unique experience, unique book, then they will like it, that it is organic reading. It is not some, you know, something like other people do. Now come to after this book thing. So as I told that streams, come to streams, there are people from diverse streams as far as I know. Okay, there are people also from arts and sciences and engineering and law and everything. Now there is a question. I am from medical background. The background is medical, so can a medical person go to HR thing, or he or she will face issues? So yeah, Vishnu, you can go.
Uh, so yeah, to answer this question, like I would like to say we have many people from medical background in our class itself. Like there's a fresher student who just graduated out of BDS course. There are pharmacy students. There are people who studied medicine. So the background doesn't matter as long as you have a proper conviction on the panel, like why you want to join the course and why you want to
I
shift
think
from
I
whatever
think
background
the
you have.
next question is the thing about age. So I think age is also quite diverse because my strengths, what I know, last year Namrata might be there, your senior, and Sanjana was there. Sanjana might be in your batch, so they are near about 30. Okay, so I believe there are people of all age, diverse age group at this particular course. They encourage diversity not only in gender, they also encourage diversity in courses. They encourage diversity otherwise also. Okay, so now we'll take the next question, which is upon what? Let me see. Freshers, what is the ratio? So is there a benefit which a experienced person will get compared to fresher? So in the batch, in the selection process, yeah, Vishnu, you can take.
Uh, yeah, to give the batch numbers, like we have an equal division of experienced people and freshers. So it doesn't matter. As if you don't have a background in HR, you're all freshers when it comes to the course. Uh, and people will be from arts, people will be from, there are like many people from various diverse courses and diverse parts of India and diverse financial societal backgrounds. So don't have to worry about all these as long as you have a proper reason why you want to do it. And like Muskan suggested, like read books and whatever you can do in your free time, just spend maybe 15 minutes a day for this. That will help you, and attend Pratik's classes, clubhouse sessions, mock interviews, like punctually, and do not miss it. Like do not take it for granted. That's what I would say.
Yeah. The next question is, I believe,
Pratik,
Manan. Yeah.
I would like to add one or two more points that regarding age and work experience. So it's always better that if you are entering in the college in the lesser age, I mean the younger age, and with the less experience. The reason is that it's not like that if your age is the there will be difference in the opportunity. So that thing you also
Yeah,
keep in
yeah,
mind.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it
So
will
it's
help you
very
further.
pretty,
When you
but
will end up
yeah,
in
that's it.
industry, it will help you there if you are,
Yeah,
applying right now after you, if you are fresher. But if you are not a fresher, then also don't think that you will not be selected, because I know of people who are out there at this HRM course and they have
yeah,
quite a
just sharing this thing only that if you have some better opportunities, so you have the good understanding of these parameters that
yeah.
what you need to
So
make the
that is
choice.
also a
So
thing.
that's one.
Then
Yeah.
another question is, I have a UPSC background and some back years. So are there people of UPSC back? Manan, you can take this. Are
Uh,
there people in your batch from UPSC background who had back years?
yeah, there are so many people. Even my roommate, he has given entire 6 years to UPSC without work experience, and he does not fake in the this resume also. And there are so many people. There are people who have given 2 interviews, 3 interviews, and those who have written mains, those who have cleared those who have cleared prelims twice, thrice, 4 times. And there is diversity. There are also people who do not know anything about UPSC, but there are people who have gone to the interview stage twice and thrice and scored very good marks there also. So I don't think that having a UPSC background or not having it is a boon or a bane.
Mhm. Okay, so this is a good thing that this question was asked, because a lot of people, after they prepare for 2 years or 3 years for UPSC and could not make it, they will come to me and they will have this guilty consciousness in them that they have done some crime or something. So no, you have not done a crime. So just try to tell to them, convey to them that whatever year you were preparing, it was a meaningful, it was adding some meaning to you, it was adding some value to you, and it was, you should be confident it was a enriching experience. You added some value to yourself during that time.
Exactly,
Okay.
sir. I remember having this talk with you just before
Yeah,
the interview.
yeah, because you are also from UPSC background. Now, around which theme extempore revolves. So yes, it can be from, as already told by everybody, I believe. Or Manan, you can say the themes where from the extempore might come. The first theme will be HRM and LR. Yeah. Then
First thing can be HRM and LR. Rest all can be mostly socio-economic, social and economic, and
and current affairs.
current affairs is yeah. I was coming to that, sir. Current affairs is the most important thing, and the way you covered current affairs was excellent, sir. Superb, because that covered almost everything and gave us multiple points. Even if we forgot one or two, God forbid, if we forgot one or two, we had ample amount of points to speak those in like for 1 minute and 1.5 minutes.
Okay, the next question is, what are the pointers, 4 5 pointers, which one should prepare for OPI, that is online personal interview? So the first thing starts from DAF only, as already said by Muskan. Okay, the second thing, your graduation becomes important. The third thing, the knowledge of the course you are applying for. And the fourth thing I would say will be the conviction. Why you want to join this course? Why you want to leave your job and come to this course? Why you want to leave, you change your stream and come here? So again, I'm repeating. The first thing is write your DAF very, properly, and every word is important. From there you can get a question. The second thing is your graduation is important. From there also you can get questions. Third thing is you have to showcase them that you are a person who has interest in HRM and LR. You should read some books, you should do some certifications if you can do, you should know some technical things. Okay. And so that that interest will show. And the last part is conviction. Conviction means why do you want to join this course? Okay. And that is, I believe, the most important point. Okay. So
Also,
this,
sir, one more thing,
yeah.
hygiene factor, especially internet.
Hygiene factor is also a factor. Okay. So what is hygiene factor, by the way? So hygiene factor, मेरा जो hygiene actually I was the person who told this thing. Okay. And it worked actually for many of the students. So what is that? The first thing is the technicalities, the headphones which you are using, the screen, that should not have, uh, you know,
Sir, mine example, if you remember that
uh-huh.
headphone.
For example, last year Ashish gave the interview. Okay, for ODCL it was, I believe. I said ODCL
Yes,
interview.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it was of ODCL, and I said what he shared me the experience. I said your interview went good. Okay, and I used to say everything is fine and good. So why the problem is why the selection is not happening? Okay, so I said him few other points like your background should be blank. There should not be anything. The light should be there. The focus should be there on your face. And I also told that get a haircut just before the interview, get clean shaved, and use white shirts. Okay, I told that use white shirts and also use better headphones. So these were my hygienic factor, which I told to Ashish. And then
Uh,
before the real interview, he took the mock interview. When he took, he actually had two courses. So he once came to give the interview of first course, and then he prepared himself for HR interview with me. That is mock interview. The moment I saw Ashish, I complimented him and I said कि हाँ ऐसे ही आपको जाना है ऐसे ही interview देना है. That means the way he was, groomed up, that was good enough to, to make a positive impact, positive impression in the first go. And then when you speak your mouth, then the second thing will come. But the first thing, the first impression happens how, last year, there was a girl Nirali. She is right now, you know, out from means she has completed the HRM course. Now she also gave mock interview to us, and I was taking her mock interview with Vivek. Vivek was an IRS officer, is an IRS officer. So we were sitting, and Vivek saw Nirali, and he told, "You are looking like an HR." Okay, so that is the thing. Try to groom up. Dadhi badha ke. There was a guy who came up with, big hairs and everything. There is no need of that. Okay, you can groom. Suppose you want to keep beard, you can keep everything, but groom it. Okay, that is going to affect because the first impression will happen from there only. Do not have any technical glitch during that time. Suppose you are going to use laptop, check the laptop. You are going to use mobile, check the mobile beforehand. What are the documentation? Yeah, Vishnu, you can say.
Yes. So according to the criteria which is given in the TIS official website itself, you will have to submit all the official documents, including your degree certificates. So basically, they will ask you for a list of documents, including your identity cards, Aadhaar, SSLC marks, SLC mark sheet, HSC mark sheet, graduation. If you have done any diploma, then then if you have done PG, then that certificate. But the real important documents which you require are your degree certificate that shows that you have completed a degree accredited like from a institution recognized by UGC, and other than that the migration certificate which is issued by the university itself. So they will give you enough time to upload the documents, and after that there will be a verification process. So that will be a very rigorous process. Like during the first day, I still remember, like during the initial 3 days we were having document verification after uploading the documents. So for me there were like some documents which could not be uploaded, including my migration certificate, because it was present in Mumbai and I was not available in Mumbai. So I had to reach Mumbai, take it from my friend, then only I could submit it. So I couldn't upload it online. At I mailed the authorities that I can't upload it because of these reasons, and they will accept it. If you have any queries, if you have any problems, there's a helpline. Call them, tell them. They are like very flexible, very lenient people, and they will accept all these problems. They understand that you're humans. You're calling to a social science institute. They will understand this. And we were given I guess time till October 31st or August 31st. I don't exactly remember, to submit the migration certificate. I submitted it like 1 month after joining, and that was it. Like document verification takes a lot of your energy and time in the campus. But they will give you a flexible window for that. So major documents that you need to gather is migration certificates, degree certificate, and your basic SLC, HSC, and birth certificate. Then all other certificates are not very mandatory. And if you belong to a category which is reservation certificate, then if you want to apply for hostel, then you need to gather income certificate, which shows your family income is less than a certain limit from village office or from the concerned authorities.
Okay, Lavdi has a question. Lavdi, could you speak?
Yeah, sure. So actually, sir, it kind of got solved. I just wanted to get a confirmation because my degree certificate still is at the college, and I might need an extension when it comes to submitting it. So I think Vishnu kind of cleared that when he mentioned that you get like a substantial amount of time to submit your documents. Is that correct, like Vishnu?
Yes, but you would have to inform them prior, like you are facing this issue.
That would be after I know that I'm selected, right?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Oh, correct. Cool. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay, so there are some normal questions. What is the fees and who all gets hostel?
See, the cutoff for hostel, that is the income criteria that varies from year to year. And even when you get selected in the first year for hostel, you might not get hostel in the second year, because second year the condition gets more stringent, more strict, and the criteria gets lowered. So it differs. So there is no point in discussing right now like what is the criteria and about
It varies. It varies.
it varies. And about the fees, it is less than 2 lakh, and it's ROI wise, it is the number one school in India as far as HR is concerned. And otherwise, there is one more school, FMS and TISS. These two are those schools like where you can afford an education with a fees of less than 2 lakhs. In less than 2 lakhs, you get your degree.
Yeah, so Rahul has a question. Rahul, you can ask.
Thank you, Pratik sir. So my question is, by background, I'm an engineer, but I work in HR for the past 7 years. So I'm applying for HRM and ODCL next year. So my question is, as far as the engineering is concerned, I never worked in the engineering sector or in the technical sector. So when we talk of the preparing the graduation subject, what should be the level of preparation, like brushing up the concepts until what level we should study? Because it's been such a long time, we have no touch to the graduation subject. Thank you.
So I can share one incident which happened. Actually, whatever you are asking will be that incident might help. So there was a person with EC background, and they asked him a simple question: what is amplifier or what is something out there? Okay. Now he said the definition of that. And what he did in the introduction part, he had written, I am so and so, I am EC engineer. The second line was, I am so and so, then I'm an EC engineer who is placed at so and so, and like that. So that is why the first thing you can do is you can be silent about your engineering thing in the DAC, okay? So that you're not shouting it out ki I am so and so and I'm engineer. That is the first thing, but that doesn't mean they might not ask question. They might ask. So suppose they are asking some question, you should be aware of the basic, the fundamentals, and if at all they are delving deeper into it, never say that, accept that you don't know, you don't remember. Don't try to bluff, don't try to, make stories out there, because they will come to know you are not accepting, the fact that you don't remember or something. So it is better that whatever you know is fine. Suppose you don't know something, that is also equally fine. Okay, that will, but the fundamentals should be clear. If a person who is a mechanical engineer and is not aware of laws of thermodynamics, then it will not show in a good light. Okay, so the fundamentals should be clear, but if they will delve deeper, you can, accept that you, whether you know or don't know. Nikhil, you can ask.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to speak to us. I had a question that some of you, I'm guessing, had to decide between the HRM, LR, and the ODCL course. How did you all go about making that decision, and did it ever come up during the interview process?
Yeah, Vishnu, you can take because you are the right person.
Yes. So I had applied for like HRM, ODCL, and analytics last year, and HRM and ODCL this year. My first preference in both the years were HRM first, then ODCL. I was never asked in HRM interview, why do you want to select HRM over ODCL? But I heard like there were some people who got asked this question, and uh, I got this question asked in both ODCL interviews. So since that was ODCL interview, I had to convince the panel like why I want to join ODCL over HRM. I got selected in both the courses this year. Last year I got rejected in both. Uh, I'm not the right person to answer this question, but this is a question you should ask yourself, Nikhil, or like anyone who asks this question. I asked this question to myself. I decided that I want to see ODCL is a sub branch of HRM, like which was developed in 80s. Some other people say it's vice versa. It's completely like your own choice. And even if you are working in HRM, you get to like work with change management models, quarters theories, even every case studies that you're working in, you will get to see all these models. So you will have to work with everything. I had a prior like information from my friends that the case studies that you involve, you will get to know the concepts of ODCL also like through HRM. So that's why I wanted to be part of HRM, and the legacy the course carries, it really attracted me. And I was a really financially concerned person, and I wanted to finish my course with the savings I had. So that also came into picture. So it's completely up to your personal choice. Even if I had like tons of money, I would say like I would still go for HRM.
Thanks, Vishnu.
What you did to stand out between so many people who gave testnet and called for interview but did not get a seat? So what was that USP?
I think what stood out, I think from my point of view, was my conviction, because I was very clear from the very start that I wanted to do this course. Other than that, as I already stated, that I read books on HRM, on HR, that I told them, and they had subsequent question which I could answer very well. But it's not like if you are not able to answer, it will be a negative point, because they did ask me two technical questions which I couldn't answer. I told them right away that sorry sir, sorry ma'am, I am not aware about this, but I will read more on this topic. So I think showing your conviction as well as technical knowledge that you know and you are interested in this course and you have done your reading is very important. So I think this is what stood out in my case.
Okay. So suppose the question is, so here the question which is asked is how to show interest in HR and how to, what interests you in HR. Suppose they are asking this, what have you done previously that shows your interest towards HR? Yeah. So this will be there in DAF also. But before that, we'll hear from Vishnu and Manan. Vishnu, go on.
Yes. So I would like to add a few points to the previous question. It's just improving yourself. Like it's not just preparing for an exam. For me, in 2022, like I was just preparing for an exam. That led me to like not perform well in the interviews. Uh, in the next year, like I realized, instead of preparing for an exam, like whatever you're studying, you're going to like that is going to improve you. That is going to change you. So that effect that you have in you, like the eagerness for self development, learning,
So there
and
should be a transformation and
yes,
value addition to yourself rather than comparing yourself to somebody else and then putting or doing something. So
the
don't
only
compare rather
person,
than
yes.
try to evolve yourself.
Yes, so no, like I know, like I sound like typical YouTube motivational speakers, but the only person you should compare is like yourself. Like you keep a track of yourself, like how you have progressed when you started reading or like when you started preparing. And 1 month after, like you see yourself, like you might know a lot of things which you didn't know about. So for me, the journey like of these 2 years with Pratik, with Igniter IAS was like completely a transformative journey. And even after TISNET, if even though I could like I got only 20 days for preparation. I was having the probation period in the startup by which I joined. I couldn't prepare much, but the things I learned, the things I read, and the videos I watched, the clubhouse session I attended, like it was helping me without even me like acknowledging it. So be part of this process, trust the process, make a good impression on the interview panel, like just have a great confidence. Even if you feel like bad that you didn't perform well in the interview, analyze how you answered, and just convince yourself, like if you're on the other side, if you were the interviewers, would you take yourself to the course? And Pratik, I lost the second question. What was that? I'm sorry.
The second question was, just wait a minute, I'll go to that question.
It was
It
about how
was
to show interest.
how to
Okay.
show that if they will ask why, if they will ask this conviction thing, how, see, the first thing which Muskan already said, how to show that you are interested in XYZ thing. You will spend time with that thing, okay? And how you will spend time with that thing? By reading some book, by reading some magazines, some information, some blogs. So you will involve into the process, so that there should be some knowledge within you, which will, you know where you are going. They want to take those students who are well aware what they are doing and where they are going. Otherwise, it should not happen that you have taken admission into HR and then you are saying, no, I don't want. Actually, this question came actually to one of the aspirants, that what he did, he took engineering first, okay, for first year or 1.5 year, and then he went back to arts, okay, in graduation, and he was sitting in the interview. So the question is, see, you did a mistake, you took engineering and you again went back to arts and you are now coming to HR. It might happen that after a few years you will realize this is not a thing for me. There was also last year, there was a guy who is right now in HRM. Okay, so he had written, he was very working with a very good organization, but he was not happy. And my question in the mock interview was, why you want to leave that organization and go to this particular thing. Then he said, sir, I did that, but I don't like it. I did that because of some societal pressure or whatever he was saying. So that means that will highlight you as somebody who seeks validation of society and does something without even knowing what that thing is. Okay. So if you have chosen that I have to do HR, there should be convincing evidences. Okay, I have chosen HR because I believe I am a people person. I have chosen HR because I have interest in so many things. I've read books upon that. Okay. And that is how you will prove that you are really interested. You can do some certifications as suggested by Vishnu. So that will also prove that you are more convincing to them, that you what anything. Manan, you would like to add something?
Sir, most of the things have been told by you, like books and trends, what is going on and all. One thing I would like to say that we have to justify also, because I was asked about LND, so my interest. So I told LND. So then she asked me, can you tell me some models? And I was since I'm genuinely interested in learning and development, so I told Kirkpatrick's model, and she then asked me what is it. So when I was as soon as I was able to tell 2 3 steps of it, she was convinced that he is really keen on L&D. So that is how I think we can justify our interest in HR.
In most of the interview, the first question will be this: what are the some roles of HR? And there are people who will fumble there only. The people who will not prepare properly, they will fumble there. They will make the names. They will not take the technical names as such. They will make their names and then they will say something. That should not happen. That will reflect in a very bad way. So if you are willing to take HRM and LR, you should be aware of what are the functions of HR, okay, what are the roles and what role actually is interesting to you, where you would like to work or contribute. Yeah, Vishnu, you can say.
Yes, Pratik, so like adding on to what you said, to understand all these current HR trends, you will be asked a lot of questions regarding HRM, like the roles, functions in the interviews. So start reading articles, the latest articles, or even the old articles from SHRM, People Matters. It will not cost you anything. Like it's all free. Like all these resources are free. From reading these materials and covering SaaS material, you will come to know like what are the trends, what's going on in the HR world, what's going on in industry, and like have a habit of it. Even after you join this course, it's not a like one-stop journey. Like once you clear TISNET and interviews, this does not stop. If you really want to progress in the HR career, like you will have to have this as a habit. So start doing it now itself. That's what I would suggest.
I am 32 years of age with 8 9 years of experience in accounting and audit. I am not interested to continue in my domain. I am mainly focused to crack this due to 5 6 internship chances that it provides a great insight and exposure, and also it provides me opportunity to make it to TAS, Tata Administrative Service. Okay. And if that did not work, I am inclined towards making a transition to data field or in a analytics course. So how should I approach my preparation in that? So see, after somebody who is transforming after 8 years, after last year Namrata was there. So you will have to showcase in such a way that I feel that something I have not utilized my full potential. A word like that. Okay. Yeah, Manan, you wanted to say something?
Yes, sir. So I wanted to just tell a fact that even I was 32 years of age when I applied for it, and currently I am age-wise I am senior to the senior batch students also. But that does not matter that much, because once we show conviction, they respect diversity, and they also know that career changes are a part and parcel of people's lives. It is not that once you get into something, it's not a government job that you get into something and you don't want to change. People change. The only thing is we have to convince them that how the things like dissertation and all these things would be helpful, how HR and LR would be helpful in our career progression. Because how is it better than the previous one? If we are able to justify that we will be better able to utilize our potential in this field. So this was the question I had asked you, and you told me exactly that I think I am better able to utilize my potential in this field. So like this, if we consider if we are able to convince them, so that is the best part we can do
So
on our
I gave example of Mahendra Singh Dhoni to a lot of people. I gave
yes,
example
sir.
of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So Dhoni was doing a job, a government job of TTE. Okay, he left his job to become a cricketer. Why? The question is why? Because he thought his potential could be better utilized in that field. So if you think that you have some qualities in you, some people qualities in you which can be better utilized in this domain, then yeah, go for it. And after 8 years or 10 years, you can justify that, yeah, I believe that I am still, evolving and I can do better, still better. There is a lot of things yet to be done. And that is why. Okay, Vishnu, you can speak.
Yes. So you have given all the points as of now. I would like to say the interview panel will have at least an experienced person who might have seen like decades of students uh, in their experiences. So if you like try to fake your interest, they will come to know that. Uh, Try having like read about HR, and I saw a question, so that's why I raised hand. Please mention sources to
Mhm.
understand what HR is. So from reading
So
SaaS material, it's
let me read the question so that
mm,
everybody will come to know.
yeah, yeah, sure.
So the question says, please mention sources to understand what HR is exactly, and also it will help us answer better in the interview.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, To understand what is HR is, you can refer to source material itself. It will give you a proper view of what HR is, what their functions are, what their roles are, like in which areas you'll be working in, how will you be interacting with people, what are the various labor laws that you will have to interact with. At least you're entering the course, so at least you need to know only the basic laws. You don't need to know laws in detail, but you need to at least know these laws exist and why. And like Pratik suggested, why you need to join this course, that conviction, that should be always there. And to HR, what to understand what HR exactly you will you can utilize internet. You can go to course any sources like SHRM, People Matters, subscribe to them, like take their free subscription, read one article like once in a week at least. Start from now. You will get to know like what's HR, what do they do, uh, watch the interviews of HR experts, HR gurus, read their books like Muskan suggested. If possible, if you have time, go for this. Otherwise, you can get audio books on the same subject. You can watch plenty of YouTube videos. You can get certifications from LinkedIn, Coursera. All this will also show like all this collective knowledge you can showcase in the interviews and extempore itself. Like once you learn this, if you get a topic for extempore from any HRM related subject, you can freely talk about it. You can connect about all these topics and you can make subjects for these 3 minutes. That will really help you.
You can supplement your learning and the classes with the help of the reading the newspaper selectively. For example, sir is taking the classes of the Dhanti. So before that, if you are reading that news briefly, so that will help to grasp that.
Better
So we should.
understanding.
Yeah. For example, if something is the new, you can share in the class also. So that will be really helpful. But do that only if you have covered the given material to you. Only then. Otherwise, it will not be that much useful.
So again, I will like to tell for GK there is a question. There are so many sources and everything. So for that, I would like to say one thing. Always said this to my student that minimize the sources, maximize the revision. Okay, because no matter what source you will cover, from where you are covering, it is immaterial. But you should do that revision multiple times, like 3, 4, 5 times. Okay, then what will happen? You will get to know 90 or 80% of it. And then you can easily scan through other sources just to get something extra which is there. Okay. So while scanning also it will become easy for you. Otherwise, you will have to reread the same thing many times. Then one question is for Manan. Manan has mentioned about desertion before. What kind of question did you face about it?
See, I was asked like in what area would you like how first I was asked how will dissertation help you? Then I gave my answer and then she to ask me in what area would I do the would I like to do the research? Then I told L&D and then I was asked to name a model in L&D. So these were the 3 questions and the next question also with your permission can I take, sir, because I was in the same position.
Mhm.
So Apurva, even in class 12, I had PCM, and then I did my BA, then I did law, and now I switched my career to HR. So it did not create a negative impact on the interview panel. Rather, I think nowadays B schools, even IIMs are welcoming people from arts background. See, it is our mentality in our society that people who do arts are not that worthy and they're not because there are so many people who are GEM, general engineers and males. Nobody they do not think about this question what you are thinking. But see, this thing that now I'm switching my career to HR. This will in fact be a very good message that you are from a diverse background and you will bring a diversity of views and experiences to the classroom and to the organizations you would be working with.
Okay, so Sanchari Adhikari says that I have a gap year of, you know, after 12, will it matter? No, it is not going to matter. Let me tell you, I know of a student who had a gap year, and whatever I was saying, now change of stream, that is engineering, and then leaving that and going to arts. Okay, that guy got selected for HRM. Okay, last year. So that guy got selected for HRM. So everything is fine there. They will not ask you how much marks you have scored in 12th and 10th. They will just see your conviction that should be there. There is a question that I have a similar profile as Vishnu. So will they ask question from mechanical engineering in OPI? Yes, they might ask. I believe Vishnu will tell more. Will there be any questions on why after doing masters you are coming to HRM or something?
Yes, Pratik. So will there be any questions? Possible. I mean, in my first interview, they didn't ask any questions on mechanical engineering. Even if I prepared for like some concepts like laws of thermodynamics, because I lost touch with the subject for 5 years. I was working in an industry. They didn't ask during 2022, but in 2023 interview, they asked me a few questions on mechanical engineering, including I still remember what is cavitation. So I think some of the mechanical engineers can understand the term. So it's a like the theory behind motors and all, but I didn't know. Like I was studying manufacturing, so there was a different type of cavitation cavitation uh, defect which is associated with casting. So I said that. Then the interviewer asked me like, "Do you know any other type of cavitation?" I said no. I clearly said no. This is the only cavitation I know. Then the interviewer asked me, "What is the color of gold? Which yellow or yeah, red?" So I said it's golden color, and she asked me, "Are you sure?" And I don't know. Maybe the alloys of gold will have some other color, but I said this is the color of gold which I have seen. I don't think it's a mechanical engineering questions, but they will not ask you questions to just check your knowledge. It also involves like how you treat these questions, how you answer these questions,
How
how you
you
approach this.
react to it? How do you
Yes.
react to particular thing?
Yes. And why after masters, why you are doing the double masters? People like there are like interviewing people for like many years. They will know students or like employees will switch go for career change. They know that, like they know the reason already. They just want to know like whether you are the right candidate or not. uh, or is it like you're just impulsive decision? Okay, you're done masters, you're done this much in mechanical engineering for this long, and you suddenly feel like, okay, I should go for something else. Is it such an impulsive decision? So from the beginning I was saying about conviction, so that's the key answer here. You should first convince yourself why you're doing it. So for me, after mechanical engineering, I knew like I could solve like many of the industrial problems, but not up to that scale. And I didn't have much passion when it comes to engineering. I was following, I mean, in Kerala, the trend, I'm sure like it's the same in India as well. Like after 12th, you will be either a doctor or engineer. Like I was, since I was not PCB, PCM, like I had to go to this stream and I followed that path uh, for long as I had control over myself. So, like I was completely interested in what I was doing, but I knew like I could use my potential somewhere else better, that I could use my skills for better practices, for like I could feel satisfied, I could feel motivated. If you come to HRM, you'll get to know like the motivation theories and all. For me, it was like just satisfying my basic needs, I would say, not even my social needs. I wanted to like pursue my esteem needs. That I like when they asked me this question in interview, like I replied back to this question in an HR language. I used motivational theories. I said I want to achieve esteem needs, and so I'm on a journey to self-actualization. That's why even my last job role, I was in a position where I could directly deal with people. I realized that I was a people's person, and even though when I have gathered another master's in a completely technical field, I have all this knowledge, and I'm sure like I can use this somewhere else in my life. Uh, but I don't want to continue in this path. And I showed a clear interest why I wanted to do this, showcasing examples from my journey. So Lingraj, if you have certain examples, make a note of those examples from now on. Why do you want to spend like write a journal, maybe starting from today, why you want to, then read it, go through it, and it will help you prepare better for interviews as well. It's not like an overnight preparation. After you clear TISNET, you got convinced that you want to join SRM. No, you need to have a pure conviction why you want to join. So start teaching yourself why you want to join, why, and if you prepare yourself better, like you can ace all these questions: why after why after first masters, why after long years of experience, why after like so many gap years, why after arts and humanities, and why you are doing now. All these questions you can ace, like if you prepare for those questions now itself. So for that, Pratik will help you during these sessions, clubhouse sessions, OPA preparation, but you also need to help yourself with all these answers. If you cannot find answers yourself for all these questions, it will be difficult to face these questions too.
So there is a question that if I will show diverse thing that I have applied for HRM, ODCL and analytics, is it good or I should only focus upon one? So basically we are living in an era of opportunities. It is not an era of choices. You can't make a choice. You will first get a chance and then only you will get a chance. You will not get choice. Okay. So that is why everybody wants to maximize his opportunities, and you should apply for all the three. And applying for all the three will not harm you at all. If at all a question might come, you can better, justify that. And how to do that? You have time after testnet to do that, and we will do together. No worries in that. Okay, but I will say that you should apply for three courses as not just if you think that you will just apply for one course that will look good, no, it might be risky business at times. Okay, so it is better that you apply for DCL also, and if you want to go into analytics you might apply for that also. Okay, so I believe we have taken many questions of the student and it was a meaningful engagement. Okay, so I would again like to thank Muskan, Vishnu, Ashish, and Manan for coming and sharing your thoughts and experiences.